I'm not sure if you guys been paying attention, but America is coming apart at the seams. This message today is specifically for law enforcement officers and those members of the National Guard in specific states, and who knows, maybe even my own state. But today we're going to talk about constitutional rights and Nazis. Stay tuned. Welcome to the War Room. Today, we're going to talk about what's going on in a lot of places in our country, specifically in New York and in California. Now, a lot of the things that we see on the news is it's pretty much all scare tactics, and then it's becoming a show. And one of the things that's really problematic is they're enforcing what are they're like laws, but they're not. But they're breaking the they're destroying the constitutional liberties and rights of Americans, and it's wrong, and it's all under the guise of your protection, our protection, keeping people safe. Well, if you just have even the smallest amount of common sense, you know that realistically the governors and the people that are in the government, they don't really care about our health. If they did, they wouldn't be spraying the sky with all this shit that they're doing and allowing things in our food. Monsanto wouldn't be what it is if they cared about our health. So it doesn't matter what side you lean on, you've got to have common sense. And what I see right now is a lot of people that don't have common sense. The most problematic amongst these people are the law enforcement officers who are doing this enforcement, that are carrying out these unconstitutional orders, that are just doing their job. Now, I watched a video about a protest in California, and they had riot police that were holding batons and lined up like stormtroopers, marching people back. And none of these people had weapons. They were carrying flags, they were carrying signs, they were carrying their children, and these bullies, hidden in these masks, were just marching these people back, just marching them back, marching them back, marching them back. Those are Nazis. That's the beginning of the SS. Now, people have thrown around this Nazi reference way too often, way too frequently, just to give a name to something that goes against their butterfly unicorn ideology. But this is how this happens, gentlemen and ladies, if you're involved in this. The way that this happens is it's a compliance test. It's a game, both for you and for the citizens. The citizens are standing up. The officers that are honoring the oath that they took, that see the unconstitutional base of all of these draconian I don't even know what to call them because they're not laws. They're unconstitutional orders passed down by mostly democratic dictators that are desperately trying to push through the same agenda that Hillary Clinton and Obama have spent their lifetime trying to build. And that is to destroy America completely. Now, this pandemic that they've got going on, they expected more people to lay down and allow the government to rub their belly, but America is a strong, defiant country. We don't descend from cowards. We've just allowed cowards to take power in our government. Cuomo is a fucking coward. The dude is a dictator. If you can't see what they're trying to do in propping this guy up on TV, all of the government of New York, the government in LA, California, just pay attention to what these guys are doing. They don't give a shit about the people. They are high on their own dope. They're high on their own dope. Cuomo probably rubs one out watching his press conferences. The dude is stoked on his own bullshit. And he is drunk on the power of control in a city like New York. And now New Yorkers are bucking. And they're talking about getting the National Guard involved so they can further keep people quarantined. Oh, you got to follow this is a beta test. It's a test. It's what they always do. Let's see if the people are going to comply. Let's see who's going to follow orders. Let's see who's going to roll over and do as we ask. And it starts small. It starts incrementally. First you're pushing back on crowds. Then you're kicking in doors. Then you're loading people up on a train. And then you're ushering people into a gas chamber. And then you're shooting people in the back of the head in front of a ditch. It sounds dramatic, but all of this has happened many, many times before. Many times before. Now, this is the message to the police officers. You guys took an oath. You took an oath just like people in the military did. And your oath is to protect and serve and follow the Constitution. Protect the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Well, right now, these governors are acting like domestic terrorists. You think I'm lying? Ask the public. Ask the public that you're bullying. Ask the mom with the baby that just wants to go back to work so she can feed her kids. Ask her who she feels is the bigger threat, Russia or the governor. Ask the people. Don't ask your boss, because he's probably a coward too. Anybody that's in law enforcement, I don't give a damn what your rank is, for you to stand up and raise your hand and volunteer or accept orders like this, it makes you a coward. It makes you unfitting of any honor, any respect. You're not a hero. You're not a hero just for putting on that uniform. Just like somebody that joins the military isn't a hero just for joining the military. Doctors aren't doctors. They're not heroes just for being doctors. We've played this word out to where now people that are laying on their couch ordering food that's going to kill them are heroes. It's on TV. It's on commercials. It's all part of the plan. It's all bullshit. You're not a hero. You're not a hero at all. You're actually a traitorous coward. I'm sorry, friends, but that's the truth. You're stomping all over everything that it means to be an American. Obama gave police departments across the nation all of these fancy military toys because you guys were going to be used in this capacity. There's always going to be low coward dummies that are going to believe and follow any orders that come down the pike. And now you have shiny toys. All of those cops that were lined up in the riot gear with their masks, You could tell by their posture that the equipment made them feel empowered. Those guys, I would argue, none of those dudes served in the military. None of them did. And if they did, they just did it because they were too dumb to do anything else in life. Because all the real veterans I know, all the brothers in my group, these dudes they find this disgusting. Because in their hearts and minds, they went and fought for the very rights that you guys are stomping on right now. And they're pissed. Many of them are pissed, just as much, if not more so, than the people that you guys are bullying. Now, my message to you, law enforcement officers and National Guards, all of you people that are in this wheel of oppression, this is what I want you guys to understand. When I was serving time, there was a group of guards that they had a little clique, and what their MO was to just start shit with people. So there were certain groups of people that they like to put their finger on and just do stuff to them, just jam them up. And because of the brotherhood amongst people who wear a uniform, they felt protected. They were protected. Well, one day this one of the particular dudes, he was a new guy, and I guess he was trying to find his footing, and he found his way into the group with these tools, and he got all wired up, and for whatever reason, he jammed me up one day, and he tried to humiliate me. I've been down for 4 years at the time, so I was used to small dick fools rolling up on me, trying to use their uniform to intimidate me. No factor. So after he finished doing all of it, he was trying to get me to react to him, and finally, I was a breath away from ripping the dude's face apart, and I just smiled at him, and I told him, the only reason why you guys have this power is because we allow it. And I walked away. And when I walked away, I guess I heard his little testicle sack, and he rolled up, tried to beefcake me, handcuff me. It said I made a threat or some goofy coward shit, tried to jam me up, man, tried to get me rolled up. Well, the major at the unit and we already had an understanding. The dude knew that I was a vet in there. I wasn't about no bullshit, man. I wasn't threatening the officers. And he asked me, man, what exactly did you say? And I told him, I said, I told that bitch the only reason why all of you are able to do what you do is because we allow it. And, me and the major, we had a conversation about it, and he didn't deny it at all. He didn't deny it at all. And he didn't reprimand me at all because he knew I was right. He knew I was right. And so he brought the officer in, and we had a powwow. And this clown never fucked with me again. Because the dudes that I was involved with inside there, all I would have had to do is say a word, and there would have been a ripple effect. Because when you're part of a group of people, a massive group of people, you know what the temperature in that group is. When you put on a uniform and feel like a tough guy and roll in and follow orders and take it as your liberty to stomp on somebody else because you don't have power anywhere else, but when you put on that uniform, there's a problem. Because your power is only as valid as the people that are letting you be powerful over them. At any point in time, had we decided we had enough of this shit, we could have took the prison over. We wouldn't have been able to hold it, but the dudes that were at the unit, they wouldn't have been able to do it alone. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They would have not been able to stop us from doing what we wanted to do. They wouldn't have lasted a fucking minute because there was thousands of us and a few of them. Most of them were good people, but a few of them were fucking assholes. And the good ones didn't say anything because it was code. It was code. It was the whatever bullshit you guys follow. This is the problem. America is a gigantic gang. There's a lot of us. It's a lot of us. There's a lot of slaves. There's a lot of people that you guys want to stuff back in the cells, but they don't want to go. And they shouldn't go. Because the whole thing is bullshit. We shouldn't have shut the country down for this. We shouldn't have shut the world down for this. But now we're here and we're trying to get out of this. And now you guys are just following orders. I'm going to tell you something that you might not know. You got all the shiny toys, you put it on. It's like a little kid, you start feeling like a soldier because they gave you soldier toys. Most of you are not prepared. You're not ready. Psychologically, physically, you're not ready for any shit like that. You're not. And just because a couple of you are willing to put on that fancy stuff, there's citizens that have that fancy stuff. And they're way better trained than you guys are. Believe that. I know it's hard to get through your fucking ego, but you have to believe this, guys. You have to. Because what you're doing is you're drawing which side that you're going to be on. You're an American. You're an American and you took an oath to protect and serve. How are you protecting and served? By bullying and oppressing. You're not doing your job. Your boss isn't doing his job. The mayor isn't doing his job. The governor isn't doing his job. And I don't understand why the president isn't stopping these guys from not doing their job. But it's not to us, it's not for us to look to the government to fix it. We've gotten this shit all twisted. It's supposed to be of the people, by the people, for the people. Now it's of some satanic cult by Monsanto and all of this, whoever pays for those people. That's it. It's not for us. It's not for us. So all of you law enforcement officers and all of you soldiers and anybody, whatever your Homeland Security, whatever your job is, if your orders are to violate the Constitution, you're committing treason. You're committing treason. You're not being an American. You're not being what it's supposed to be in the position that you're in. And if that's the line that you choose, you need to understand that your power that you feel like you have, it's not as extensive as you think. These people are protesting peacefully right now. Americans are being peaceful right now. But if you keep pushing and taking it upon yourself to just follow orders, you're gonna run into something. You're gonna run into something that you never imagined. There are veterans that are seasoned, battle-tested warriors that are pissed off that you're not doing your job. And chances are you're gonna be ordered to go knock on that man's door and stick a thermometer in his mouth, or stick a needle in his arm, or try to take his guns. You ready for that fight? You sure? All right.